Today's book is still Roar the Ganges. I hope you will enjoy listening to this as I will enjoy reading it to you. We are very far into the book, and we are only days away from Mark's initiation as a sannyasi to become Swami Tadatmananda, as he was when he wrote this book. We were discussing the nature of Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, and how the first 2 limbs involved the Yamas and the Niyamas, the 5 prohibitions and the 5 observances, the do's and don'ts of yoga. And so the natural question arose, why were moral rules included in a system of meditation? It's a good question, so let's explore that today. Their purpose is to help avoid conflict in life, since any conflict can be an obstacle to meditation. Try meditating after you got in an argument with someone. Those who fail to conform to social and moral norms are likely to find themselves at odds with others. Swami Dayananda, my guru, compares the violation of moral laws to a rubbing up against the rough bark of a tree with one's bare arm. He asks, who gets rubbed? The tree rubs back, leaving your arm scratched and bleeding, while the tree remains unaffected. Similarly, when we rub against the moral order by violating ethical norms, we get rubbed back in the process and become engulfed in conflict. Thus, the Yamas and Niyamas guide us to lead conflict-free lives for the sake of meditation. The next limb, asana, refers to the sitting posture used in meditation. The Yoga Sutras define asana simply as a stable, comfortable position in which you can meditate without being troubled by aching legs, a stiff back, or by drowsiness. I'm sure we have all tried meditating in a position that was too comfortable, and we just fall into sleep. Yet, as anyone who has meditated for extended periods can attest, these troubles are not easily overcome. The complex system of postures that developed over the years, though not a part of the Yoga Sutras themselves, evolved as a means to help you acquire sufficient strength and flexibility to sit comfortably in meditation for hours. Pranayama means control of the prana, the vital force or breath. Breathing exercises can help you control your mind, since breath and mind are intimately linked. When your mind is agitated, your breathing generally becomes rapid and shallow. Conversely, when your mind is composed, your breathing is likely to be slow and deep. Because of this breath-mind connection, intentionally slowing your breathing will make your mind more peaceful. I almost developed a lisp for that word, peaceful. As with asanas, a system of breathing exercises evolved to help you calm your mind in preparation for meditation. Pratyahara and Dharana mean sense withdrawal and concentration, respectively. They describe the process by which your attention is withdrawn from worldly activity and focused within. Our 5 senses link us to the outside world and therefore become sources of distraction during meditation. Noises, itches, and flying insects can potentially derail your meditative efforts. But when your attention is sufficiently concentrated on an object of meditation, you can become free from such distractions, just as someone absorbed in reading a book might not take notice of noises or even a pesky fly. Dhyana, or meditation, is defined as fixing your mind solely on the object of meditation, such that no other thoughts intervene. Normally, our thinking rambles from one topic to another in a flow of associated thoughts. This tendency for associative thinking can quickly sidetrack your efforts to meditate. Hearing an automobile passing nearby can initiate a chain of thoughts like this. Oh, that reminds me to get my car's brakes adjusted. I should buy a new car. My neighbor just bought a new Toyota. Toyotas are good cars. They are made in Japan. In this way, your thoughts can race from a passing car to Japan in a matter of moments. Each thought leads to a related thought, forming a chain of associative thinking that can continue unbroken for minutes or even hours at a time. I'm glad you enjoyed the lotus sticker, Sarah Lynn. I'm still working on a tiny dino sticker for you. In Dhyana, the chain of associative thinking is broken by directing your mind towards an object of meditation. For example, you might repeat a mantra, visualize a sacred image, or attentively observe each breath. In every case, the chain of associative thinking is replaced by a flow of thoughts directed towards the object of meditation. At first, this flow of thoughts is unsteady. The mind wanders frequently and must be brought back to the object of meditation again and again. But eventually, your thoughts will form a steady stream flowing towards the object of meditation without interruption. An unbroken current, often likened to the ribbon-like flow of oil poured from one vessel to another. The 8-rung ladder of yoga culminates in Samadhi, absorption. Samadhi is a meditative state in which the distinction between meditator and object of meditation disappears. The meditator is metaphorically said to merge into the object of meditation. In the wake of this absorption, what remains is the unchanging presence of the object of meditation, experienced as a blissful state of oneness. And Haikara. Although Samadhi is the goal of yogic practice, it is not considered the ultimate goal of Vedantic spiritual pursuit. Samadhi is a transient experience. You might be able to enjoy its perfect state of oneness, but like any other experience, that state eventually comes to an end also. It is not possible to remain permanently in any mental state, including the state of Samadhi, nor would it be desirable to do so. How strange to envision the goal of spiritual life as remaining in a state of constant absorption, utterly cut off from all worldly interaction. Enlightenment is not a state of isolated perfection that denies the value and beauty of human life, but rather a state of freedom in which human life is embraced unconditionally with all its challenges and limitations. Countless meditators have experienced the bliss of Samadhi, only to emerge from meditation no wiser than before. This has been my experience as well. In nearly 20 years of meditation, I have had many experiences that might be called Samadhi. After each of these meditations, I felt wonderfully elevated and profoundly moved. Sometimes those feelings lingered for a few days, but they invariably faded and left me essentially unchanged. According to Vedanta, the experience of Samadhi alone is not adequate for gaining self-knowledge, knowledge of Atman, the true self. A valid means of knowledge, a pramana, is required. But since extraordinary knowledge requires extraordinary preparation, yoga and meditation are certainly necessary to become fully prepared for the ultimate inquiry into the truth of oneself. And so we end the chapter, and with that, our reading for now. Later on, we may continue the next chapter on devotion, service, or renunciation. But I thank you, my dear viewers, for listening with me.